Hello, fabulous Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of July 2014 General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, as I looked at the sky for you, I thought about how a lot of things now are going to start to become really clear for you. And actually, this is a continuation of learning that's been taking place for you since May. And especially, I remember in the month of May, the horoscope for May, I told you to pay attention to what was taking place around the 24th of May, because Mercury would return to that exact spot around the 1st of July. And so as you start this month, really, I would invite you to watch the May video again, because a lot of those issues that come up or came up at that time, while there may have been considerations, there may have been thinking about it, quote unquote, there may have been wondering, there may have been questions, especially where it came to what you really want in matters very close to the heart. Now, as you start this month, those first couple of days are so important, because it looks like there is really a burst of clarity, and for some of you stronger than others, where you understand exactly what it is that the changes you desire, the changes you've been going through, exactly what it is going to, on the one hand, entail, but exactly what it is that you are actually ready for. I do think that there's an element here of you just gaining some long-needed clarity as to what your heart most desires to do and what it is that you most desire to express. Now, those of you born right around, generally around the 15th of the month of June are going to find this particularly hits home very close to the heart. But I do think just about every Gemini out there is going to experience this energy in some way, where it is a matter of heart that becomes very clear as to what it is that you desire to do. And it looks like some of you have been sort of mulling over a change, an important change, right? I'm not downplaying it at all. It's almost as if you've been thinking about having a new chapter in life, taking on a whole new road, really walking a new path, expressing something different, understanding yourself and what it is that you desire to be and express in the world very differently. All of that comes into focus, comes into clarity once we get you to the very beginning of this month. So it is a really important month for you, represents a turning point, represents you. Maybe you've been on the fence or you've been sort of at the fork in the road. Now it's the moment when you start to decide and understand what road it is that you do want to go down and what that road is going to look like. You have a clearer head, a clearer understanding, but more than anything, a clearer heart is taking place for you. So very important month without a doubt. And I do think also that there's an element here of you making a significant change that involves an ending, especially in the middle of the month. I consider the fact that in the middle of the month, we have a full moon taking place, and the part of the sky this full moon is taking place in has to do with, on one very literal level, it has to do with money, okay, in terms of, and this is sort of chunks of money that come in. This has to do with money that is related to grants, loans, bursaries, insurance, payouts, benefits, that type of thing. So just on that very literal level, if there's any type of money that you've been trying to get, any type of settlement even, trying to qualify for some funding, it does look like there might be a little bit of sort of last minute kind of hoop jumping or needing to scramble a little bit, fill out some paperwork. But it does look like there is prosperity. There is money there for you, and it should come through for you in the second half of the month. But here's the really interesting thing, is that ultimately this is a symbol for being provided for by the universe. And I look at how this particular full moon is placed, speaking to all these different power players in the sky, and yet getting a strong boost of stability from planet of stability, Saturn. And I do think that there's an element here not only of just on a financial level, things seem to get more stable, if you will, but also on another level as well. I see a shift taking place for you. I see a shift happening where a more esoteric understanding of this part of the sky has to do with a rebirth of sorts. And I do think that money that comes through now in some way, and the fact that you are understanding a new chapter that you want to go through, that you want to walk down, that you are ready for, if you will, it involves a new beginning. It involves you jumping on that cycle that all of us are on throughout this life, which is the life, death, rebirth cycle. So all of us in somewhere continuously being reborn throughout this single life. And this represents a major new birth for you. It represents an important point in your current life, death, rebirth cycle, if you will. And so the finances come into place that affirm to you that you are now ready to make a significant change. And with that, you actually go about and make that change. I always say the universe is very wise and loving, but I also believe the universe is very abundant as well, especially when you do what it is that you are supposed to be doing. When you do what you're supposed to be doing, the universe has a way, the material stuff has a way of coming together. And that doesn't mean that you don't work for it or you don't try for it or any of that stuff. It doesn't mean you aren't challenged and made better in the process. It just means that you enter a certain flow. And in that flow, even when things are challenging, you find a way to find it exhilarating. That is the space I see you entering this month. And it is from that space that greater things become possible to you. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.